Hey guys, this is a review of the variations class we did, which worked a lot with swing out variations, and we just generally tried to work on some of the technique in our swing out. I'm Mike.
Melissa?
So to start, we started with a very basic sequence. We did a Lindy circle. We wanted to build on this with some swing outs. And we just came back to close. So we worked a lot of different points of the swing out, which is sort of the tension and exchange of energy and keeping our momentum as we go through it. And one of the ways we tried to highlight that was with a variation that can focus a little bit more on the momentum exchange. So from our swing out, we went to open. We did what we call like a two-handed swing out. Sometimes it's called a slingshot or a yo-yo. Very similar to the regular swing out that we're doing. But as we approach, rather than sort of connecting with our partner in the middle, we're going to take both hands and sort of as we're on that line, whoop, we're going to have a little stretch where we stretch away from each other. And this is the feeling that we're kind of looking for in the swing outs, where we're kind of stretching apart. And then there's that kind of slingshot effect. So we can use that in place of the swing out. It's kind of something that's worse than an ASMR, but also really good exercise for experiencing that. Do you have any comments on that?
Comment in general for followers for all the things we did is to not rush the movement and to realize you have enough time to get there, and it's better to get there a little bit late than too early.
Yeah, and things we were looking out for was making sure this is more of a linear movement, so we're not sort of rotating around like this. You can kind of think if we're on a line, which we usually don't think too much about it being on a line, but in this case we kind of are facing each other. We're kind of sending each other in a linear direction, I guess. The other thing was for leads to be more comfortable being close to our follow, so you're not wanting to step out to the side, which kind of lends itself to rotating because we're so far away. Those are just things to look out for. So we did another variation which we thought was helpful for the swing out, starting from closed. We use a tuck turn. We don't use our left hand, which is optional. Triple step. We went into handshake, so right hand to right hand. And very similar to a side pass, which is like this, triple step, triple step. We were doing this, we were going rock, step, triple, step, step, triple step. So advantages of that is a lot of the time we find in swing outs that follows maybe, we're not close enough to each other, so we kind of end up in this, we're walking around each other because we don't want to run into each other. It's a very natural fear. We need to be closer, and the other thing is we often find that follows are not coming square with their leads, so they're kind of coming in sideways. And I want to be square, but like this, and it's kind of awkward. So it's difficult to do a swing out sometimes. This is kind of a hacky way of doing it. Is doing this, we automatically get that back. And we get to experience a lot of the same movement and sensation of a swing out. So there's not really much to that. We're just going rock, step, triple step, 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 triple step. Encourage people to try that as a variation. It's essentially a swing out, but it gives us a little bit of an advantage because we can be closer and not have any issues. We did do one thing last at the end as a bonus. We're coming into close just with our 6 count. Very, very simple variation. We just turned it into 8 count with an extra turn, so we're just going rock, step, triple, step, step, triple, step. It leads you'll have to kind of walk back with that a little bit because of the extra turn. So I don't know if you have any comments about the right hand swing out.
Right hand swing out feels exactly like a side pass right until it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to commit to it as a side pass, and you won't know until you're about to start that second triple, but you'll get caught and redirected into a step step. So you kind of have to just keep that momentum until you're redirected.
Yeah. So both moves, variations on a swing out that use just certain parts of the swing out. Good way to practice. Recommend just doing it on the social dance floor, getting a feel for the swing out. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do in class.